so much for waving. Hi guys, welcome back to Vitale Style. Today I am doing a review and demo on the Maybelline Fit Me Foundation powder and concealer. I purchased these not too long ago, maybe a couple weeks ago, and I shared them with you in a haul, and I had a lot of you ask for a review, so I'm doing that today. I've had a chance to play around with it for a while so that I feel like I really know, I have my thoughts like really together for this review. So I really hope that you find this helpful. If you do, let me know, and if you use this and if you feel differently than I do, then please let's talk about it. I would love to know what works for you. I would love to know if it's not working for you. So just leave your thoughts, I guess, down below, and let's get started with the demo. The primer I really have enjoyed with this foundation is my Too Faced Primed and Poreless. I am just going to squeeze a little bit out of there. I'm just going to put it kind of a little bit on my cheeks, really focusing around the nose area. And I just kind of spread it out. Now for the foundation, I have the color 220 and 240. 240 is too dark for me, 220 is too light for me, but it's definitely matches me closer as far as the shade than this one. But the color of this 240 is just absolutely gorgeous. It's like a beautiful tan golden color, which I love. So I'm going to just mix a little bit of 220 and 240 just on the back of my hand. Again, mostly the 220 and then just a smidge of the 240. Oh, look, it made a heart. Oh, it's because I love you guys. And then just a smidge with of the 240. Now I have tried this foundation using the Beauty Blender and it works really well, but I prefer using my Sigma F80 brush just because it gives me better coverage. I feel like the Beauty Blender, because this is a sheer foundation as is, the Beauty Blender just makes it really sheer. So that's why I use my Sigma brush and it works really well. Now you'll notice I have not used my Bobbi Brown, my Armani corrector, and that's because I'm just going to take whatever's left over of my brush, and that's because the concealer in the color medium has a really nice like peachy salmon undertone, which I really feel like on its own really helps counteract, oh look at that, I got foundation in my hair, those dark circles. I'm just going to buff this into the skin, coming down the neck, and then really pat it in. Just really patting that into the skin. It looks good enough. Now you can see the color. I hope it shows off on camera well, but the color pretty much matches me perfectly once I mix them together. Now I'm going in with my concealer, and this is in the color 25 medium, and I am just going to pop this under my eye. And you can already see that the color of this is a little peachy. It's a little sort of salmony color, and that really helps counteract the dark circle. Let's just take my Sigma, what is this, P86, and tap that in place. And I just kind of feather it down as well. And I always go a little bit on the eyelids, but not much. Okay. Now that this is all blended, it is time to set it. Now I'm going to set my under eyes using my Laura Mercier, where is it? Secret Brightening Powder, because as you can see, this foundation definitely needs to be set. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that and then just set this. And now for the face, we are going to set this with the Maybelline Fit Me powder, and the color I have it in is 240, and it's a really beautiful color. I'm going to just use a big fluffy brush. I'm not going to use it too concentrated because I don't really need coverage. I just need to set the foundation. You can already see immediately it has taken that shine down quite a bit. Okay. I'm just going to finish up the rest of the face and then we'll chit chat. So my makeup is fully on. I actually recorded a tutorial on this look, which should be coming up tomorrow or in a couple days. And it's a really pretty sort of coppery bronze look, which you guys know is right up my alley, but that's besides the point. The foundation and concealer and powder for me are something I've been playing around with pretty much all week. Ever since I got them, I've been playing around with them, and I wanted to just really give you the lowdown on some pros and some cons. First of all, for me, I feel like this is definitely a foundation for someone who has really dry skin. If you have even oily skin in the slightest, you will not like the foundation. The foundation is really dewy. You could see it was really dewy, and it still is before applying a setting powder, because I mean, it was like really luminous. However, the finish for me once you set it is phenomenal. I love the look of it. I love that it looks still really natural, but yet it still looks like you've got some glow to the skin. I just think the finish is phenomenal. You just want to make sure that you're not using this if you have oily skin. Now, a con for me is that I don't think I can get any more than about 4 to 5 hour wear out of this foundation, and that is most certainly without going out in the heat. Especially out here, we've got like 80 to 90 degree days already, and it's getting really hot, and I could never wear this outside in the heat because it would melt off my face. Not that I would really ever wear like heavy foundation if I was out in the heat in the sun, but point is, if you are going to a party at a at a park and it was really hot, I would steer away from using this because it is really luminous. So it'll just kind of run right off your face. Whether you're topping it with a setting powder and a spray, it's not going to hold up to any more than 4 to 5 hours looking magnificent. You can push this to 8 to 9 hours if you're in an office environment, and it'll look fine. Just be careful not to really rub your face or lean on your face, because it does transfer. So I wanted to let you guys know that because I have experienced it. The powder for me, I think it's a great powder. I do. I would actually get even different colors if I didn't love this color so much. This color is absolutely perfect. It's that gorgeous sort of tan golden colors that I love, and I think it works really well. I don't use this really heavy-handed. I use this kind of lightly just to set the foundation, and I really like it. And I've actually used that with other foundations, and I really have liked it. The concealer for me is most definitely the standout product of the line. I love this concealer, and particularly I love the color medium because it does have like a salmon peachy undertone, which I feel like it helps with my dark circles, and therefore I don't have to use my Armani corrector if I don't want to. I think this is a wonderful concealer. It reminds me a lot of the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind, which you guys know I love. I think the difference is this dries really luminous, while that one dries kind of matte. That's the difference that I've noticed anyway, but I still set both of them because I feel like it locks them into place. But I really have enjoyed this, and I have the one in the light color as well, and I have used that just to sort of highlight, and I think it works really well. So I say this is definitely a 2 thumbs up for me. I have tested this over and over again. It does settle a little bit into my fine lines on my forehead, but that's really, most foundations do that for me. They just do. I don't know what else to say. They just do. But yeah, I really have no negatives to say about this. This has got SPF 18. I don't know, it's 1 fluid ounce, it's less than $8. You can find it cheaper at different places. I think it's phenomenal. And I have to say, what I really love about it is that if you are the shade 240 in the foundation, then it matches you with the powder and the concealer. I think that's really helpful. If you're kind of new at makeup and you don't know what shade you are, well, if you have picked the right shade of foundation, then you'll have, the powder and the concealer will be the same shade, if that makes any sense. I think that's a huge plus for someone that doesn't really use makeup a whole lot. So that is everything. I really enjoy it. I really like it, and I think if you have dry skin and you plan on wearing this indoor, I say give it a go. I mean, really, everything together will probably come to less than 20 bucks, and I think it's definitely worth it. It almost reminds me, to me, this is like a drugstore version. The foundation is a drugstore version of the Buxom Weightless foundation that I love. I don't have it anywhere near me, that's why, otherwise I would show it to you. But to me, this is a drugstore version of that. It doesn't have the longevity of that, and the color of that one just matches me so perfect right now, and these I have to mix. But aside from that, It's very similar. It might not last as long on the face, but it's very similar. It gives you a beautiful luminous glow. It gives you really nice sort of light to medium coverage. It actually covers a lot more than I thought it was going to. And I do really love applying it with my Sigma F80. So that is everything. I hope this review has made sense. So basically, bottom line, if you have oily skin, stay away from the foundation. Do try the powder and the concealer. And if you have dry skin, I think you'd really love this. Just don't use it if you're going to be running around in the hot, under the hot sun, because it'll melt right off your face. But that's really with any foundation. I just felt the need to really push that because I found that to be true. So that's everything. Those are my thoughts on the Maybelline Fit Me line. I hope that this has been helpful to you. If it has, give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hey babe, can you take that broccoli tray out of the oven?